protect us as well. And in that vein, it is my privilege to call to the stage Major Roger Boykins, retired out of Fort Campbell, home of the 101st. Thank you to all of our veterans.
We're celebrating two things today. We're celebrating the Army's birthday, 250 years. But before we start, we take an oath to this country, and that flag right there, all right, right here, that flag. We're going to say the pledge of allegiance to the flag. All 5,000 of us. Okay. Everybody, put your hand on you. Well, you know the rules. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to make this quick. We have a lot of veterans out here, and we have veterans from all walks of life. We had individuals that were immigrants that came over here, couldn't speak a lick of English. And then they served this country. And they served this country with distinction. We took an oath to this country, not to no king. Okay? And we need to remember that. We stand up for America, for everybody that walks this earth. I'm going to shut up right now, okay, but we got 3 minutes. That's the reason, 3 minutes. But remember, we took an oath for this country, and we took an oath for this country for every person that walks in America. And when I was in uniform, I was proud to wear that uniform, knowing that I was representing the United States when I was over in Europe and other places in Germany and Korea. We knew we took an oath to represent America. Now, if you go over to the other countries right now, I guarantee you, they're looking at us laughing. Okay? But you guys keep your heads up high, and remember, this is the United States of America! Hoorah!
Hey y'all, my name is Yessie. I'm one of the organizers, and I'm so glad y'all are here. Alright, y'all. The next person here is Senator Molly Cook. She is such an amazing person. Okay, I believe in her. She's also my senator. So make some noise for my senator, y'all. Yeah.
Good morning, y'all. I want to know who's in the crowd today. Is anybody here from Houston? Is anybody here from the suburbs of Houston? Did anybody travel today for an hour to be here? The entire region is here today, y'all, and we are united. We are united around a couple of concepts. Cheer if you agree with me. We are united around our shared humanity. We are united because we don't think the Constitution dissolves just because you cross a border. We are united because there are no kings in Houston. And we are united because we don't want ICE in Houston either. I want to read all a couple of signs. Give me a cheer if you agree with them. Veterans against Trump. Liberty and justice for all. No kings, no fascism, no Nazis. I see one that says, fuck fascism. I want to tell y'all what's happening on the state level. Because the federal level makes headlines, the local level is close to you, but the state, it sneaks by you. Y'all, there were bills this year to destroy the judiciary. to get rid of the 3 branches. And our system ain't perfect, but we need that to keep us safe and to move forward. When we stood strong and stopped the passage of repealing the Texas Dream Act, Attorney General Kim Paxton had to get with the president and do fancy footwork to take that away from the people of Texas, y'all. Every single time we make progress, they move the goalpost. They redo the committees. They redraw the lines. But you should take that as a cue to push harder. They can't win by being fair, y'all. They have to change the rules every time, so keep pushing. This moment demands 2 things of us. It demands courage. Because the reality is, if you want change, you take on damage. You link arms with your brothers and your sisters and your siblings, whether they are immigrants, whether they are trans, whether they are poor. You link arms and you push forward. The second thing that's called from us is discipline. We move together as a team. None of us are kings either. So every move you make, you put your neighbors in front of you. You put yourself between ICE and your neighbors. You trust the affected community members who have been at the forefront of this movement. And you lead with courage and with discipline. We are here to fight for you, but this cannot change just from the inside. So chant with me right now. No kings in Houston! No ICE in Houston! No kings in Houston! No ICE in Houston! No kings in Houston! No ICE in Houston!
Okay, everybody, this next lady is no stranger to Houston. She served on city council, she's now a state rep, and she's a union girl. Let's hear it for Jolanda Jones.
Good morning! Let me tell you something. We are not an oligarchy. We are not a monarchy. We do not have kings in these United States of America. This country was founded on immigration. And if you don't think that we better take it to the polls to take this country back, you are wrong. If you think it can't get worse, it can. I am a state representative. My name is Jolanda Jones. I represent House District 147. For those of you who don't know, you in House District 147. Let me say something. I'm going to tell you how this man who is a king in his mind is acting with the state. We had the votes to kill vouchers. He literally had a phone call with the Republican caucus the morning of the voucher vote. We had Republicans who were with us because they know vouchers are bad. He said, you better vote right, because if you don't, I'm endorsing against you. If you vote right, I'm endorsing for you. And if you don't vote right, I'm going to put millions of dollars against you. Let me be clear. He came in, we passed all this anti-immigrant legislation because Trump wanted it, because he wants you distracted. I'm the first black, openly LGBT person in the Texas legislature. If you don't believe he worries more about what he thinks we do in bed than he probably getting it home, he does, which is why every bill almost has an anti-LGBTQ component talking about biological sex. He is dangerous. We've got to vote. Lawsuits are not going to stop Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the one who created filing lawsuits against everybody for everything. You know who stops Donald Trump is Congress. Because Congress can vote against his shit. Congress can investigate him. And Congress Congress can impeach him. So if you don't think paying attention to that is not important, at a minimum, you better vote for Congress. And I want to present something, because we're only supposed to be up here for 3 minutes, and I will not overextend my time, because I'm a trial lawyer. When the judge tells you got a certain time, that's what you got to do. This is a certificate from the House of Representatives in the state of Texas. It's a certificate of recognition. Can I get some of the organizers here, please? To all whom these presents shall come. This certificate is presented to the organizers of the No King mass protest. On behalf of the constituents of Texas House District 147, State Representative Jolanda Jones, which is me, proudly recognizes the organizers of the No Kings mass protest for their courageous stand for democracy and justice. Held in the heart of House District 147 on June 14, 2025, this day of protest boldly rejects authoritarianism and corruption in a time when Donald Trump acts like a king, threatening democratic institutions and interfering even in state legislation. It takes bravery to speak truth to power. Thank you for mobilizing voices and building a movement that defends our rights and reclaims our future. Thank you. I need to present this to you. Repita después de mí. For those of you who don't speak Spanish, oh well, too bad. Go learn another language. Repita después de mí. No reyes, no reyes, no reyes, no reyes. Muchísimas gracias. My name is Jolanda Jones. I love you. I'm here to support you. Thank you.
Good morning, Houston. Are there any teachers in the audience? My name is Michelle Williams, and I'm running for state representative in House District 127. I am a teacher, a grandmother, and a fierce advocate for public education. You know, when I think about what courage means or looks like, I think of a time when I had to make a choice. It wasn't in a quiet moment. It was in the heat of fear and retaliation. I spoke out against some decisions that were being made that I knew would hurt our schools and our students. And in return, I faced threats, loss of my teaching contract, and reassignment to a bus barn.
People way older than me and way younger than me for whom it's really hard to be here. It makes me think everyone should show up, and I guess what I'm thinking is everyone who shows up also needs to make sure that they vote, because that's the ultimate way to make your voice heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Gretchen, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We do appreciate it here on KPRC.
It was great to meet you.
Yeah.
I really love KPRC. Thank you.
Thanks to you all. Have a good day. Thank you so much again. And Brittany, this is kind of the sentiment we've been getting from people we've been talking to all morning long as they attend this event. So right now we're further back. We keep getting pushed further and further towards McKinney here because more and more people. You're fine. Go ahead. You're fine. See, a lot of people here today, Brittany. So they're talking up at the stage right now. You can kind of see that in the double boxes here. So, Brittany, we're going to send it back to you and hopefully hear from some of the speakers that are speaking at this demonstration.
TJ Parker giving us a firsthand look of what they are experiencing out there, what they are seeing. As you can see, many people already showing up. The demonstration started around 10 o'clock this morning, but hours before we were seeing many people gathering there near City Hall. Of course, we know community leaders have been speaking here at this demonstration. We heard some in the crowd referencing that. Let's go ahead and listen in for a moment.
We stand together, and when those in power fail our kids and our communities, we band together and build something better. And if we do that, if we believe in one another, there is no limit, trust me, to what we can do together. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Our next speaker is G.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Jim Wu. I'm a state rep out of Southwest Houston. I'm not here as a politician. I don't want to be here as a politician. I want to be here as an American. I want to be here as a Texan. And I want to tell you why I'm here and why I'm happy you're here. It's not just about the ICE raids. It's not just about the loss of due process. Why I'm glad to see all of you, why I'm pissed off, is because for the last half century, our government has spent its time stripping away everything that helps make us great. Strip away all the things that puts us back in the middle class, all the things that keeps the American dream of life, thing after thing, education, healthcare, infrastructure, everything's been stripped away piece by piece. And we've given it up to the billionaires. We've given it up to the money class. We've given it up to the big donors and the corporations. And all of us are here because we're looking around each other and saying, why do I work so hard but suffer so much? And the reason why that's important is because then we look for somebody to blame. And whether it's immigrants or trans kids or Muslims or any other group that is having their neck stepped on by Donald Trump and Republicans. It doesn't matter what we need to fight, is fight against all of that. Fight against this idea that Americans are just here to work and grind themselves to death so you can make money. I want to rebuild the American dream. I want us to fight for what made us great. I want to fight for us to be the beacon on the hill again. I want to fight for us to be proud to go out into the world and say we're Americans. I want us to be the best again. And we can be the best when we come together. When we stand up for everything that we knew to be true when we grew up. When they taught us that America is the heart of democracy around the world, we should live up to that. When they say America is the ultimate fighter for freedom around the world, we should live up to that. When they say America is the example of how people live together and be tolerant and loving and welcome one another, and that's how they became great. Let's live up to that. I'm tired of America being known for mass shootings, mass debt, mass deportations. I want us to go back to what the world knew America as. We are the machine that destroys kings.
And if you're just joining us now, we are bringing you live special coverage of today's peaceful protests that have been coordinated by the group No Kings. Of course, these protests taking place across the country from coast to coast, with at least 10 of them taking place right here in the Houston area. What you're watching live right now is taking place right in front of City Hall. It started around 10 o'clock this morning. We have our Robert Arnold out there speaking with people who are attending this demonstration. Our TJ Parker, we just checked in with him, had a live report speaking with those who are in attendance today. We've seen those with signs and chanting out there. A lot of people have showed up for this protest today. We were told by organizers that 4,000 people had RSVP'd for this downtown rally. This, of course, includes a march that will be looping around the streets in the nearby vicinity. McKinney Street full right now as well. As we were hearing from TJ Parker, we do not have a definitive count on how many people are there, but we did just check in with him during a live report. You can see a very large crowd We've been hearing from community leaders. We just heard from State Representative Jean Wu saying that we can be the best when we stand together. Of course, we heard from others in the crowd, Houstonians, who say that there are people of all ages who are there this morning. Of course, I referenced we've got several of our KPRC2 News reporters who are there bringing us live coverage. Our Robert Arnold is out there. We want to go ahead and check in with him on what he's experiencing, from your vantage point out there, Robert.
Right now, we're at the corner of Smith and McKinney, and the entire area in front of Houston City Hall is filled with people. More protesters continue to show up. They're now in a park that is across the street from City Hall. That's a park that's in between the federal courthouse and City Hall, and the crowd just continues to grow. There's definitely hundreds here. I don't want to give any more of an estimate of that, but obviously there are hundreds of people here. As I say, more people keep showing up. The crowd has worked very hard. The organizers have worked very hard to have pallets of water out because it is hot out here. There's medic stations set up, and for about the past, I'd say 35 minutes, everybody in the crowd has been listening to several speakers, city council members, congressional members, state representatives, as well as political groups is speaking here to this crowd. I do want to take you over here. Some of the people who have come out. We'd spoken around. I'm sorry, I'm Robert.
Dylan.
Nice to meet you, Dylan. Oswald. Explain to us, why was it important for you to come out here today?
I think it's important today that we show solidarity with the rest of the country as we stand against fascism. America's headed towards an authoritarian government, and that's un-American, it's un-Western, and this is not what we stand for in this country.
Are you with any particular group, or are you just coming out here on your own as a citizen?
Just coming out here today on our own, just trying to show solidarity with the people across the country who are protesting this nonsense in the White House.
Okay, and it's been smooth. Everything's going on. Was there a little bit of nervousness because of what we saw in LA or anything like that? It seems like the speakers were continually saying, "Let's keep this peaceful. Let's keep this upbeat."
Houston tends to be a fairly moderate city, let's be honest, and we protest peacefully. The police here tend to handle this well. You don't see anybody throwing tear gas and rocks today. This isn't LA. This isn't Seattle, but we're coming out here to let our voices be heard. As loud as possible today.
Okay. And there was talk of a march somewhere. Have you gotten any information on that either? I think they are talking about possibly doing that at 11 o'clock. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about a march. Last time I was down here, we marched a few blocks and came back. Not sure what the plan is today, but, we're here for a few hours and we'll see what happens.
Would you like to say something as well? What's your name?
I'm Jack.
Hi, I'm Robert. Nice to meet you. What brought you out here, Jack?
It's a beautiful day for democracy. I felt that we need to just stand up, let people know that there are people out here that believe what's going on is wrong, and just a return to the people is what's needed.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both very much. I appreciate it. Let me take you out here. Let me go. I'm with my partner, Xavier. We're going to walk out here in the street a little bit and kind of give you a periphery view of just how many people are here if you want to turn around and kind of show everybody here. So again, we're at the corner of Smith and McKinney, and the entire area in front of the reflection pond is filled. People are now across the street in the other park, as well as this crowd continues to grow with all people here from different organizations, people here just as themselves. I'm going to walk down here a little bit. We'll come out here and show you. As you mentioned, the police are here. You have HPD's mounted patrol across the street. You have HPD's mounted patrol in the park that's across from City Hall as well. But again, stationary. As I had mentioned, volunteers brought pallets of water. There's medic stations set up in this area. And so everybody keeps coming. And this portion, the speaking portion, is supposed to keep going until about 11 a.m. We're going to walk down here and see if we can get back into the crowd and talk to some more people and find out why they are coming here. So bear with us as we walk into the crowd here, talk to some more people. All right, thank you. All right. They've been handing this out. Sir, may I have one of those? One of those? What is that? So these are chants that you're asking out for people?
And then there's also the 5051, all the information's on the back of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got all of our sign-up chants on it, passing around the crowd.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hi. Hi.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're with KPRC. Do you want to speak? Would you like? We're with KPRC. We're live streaming right now. Would you like to tell us? I'm Robert.
Nice to meet you, Robert.
Nice to meet you guys. Would you ladies? What brought you out here today?
Because I am done with what's going on in our government and have been for a long time. It's ridiculous what's going on, and I'm very tired of sitting down. And it's time to get up, and it's time to get off of your couch and get active in your communities. Reach out to your local Democrats groups, reach out to your local communities, reach out to 5051 and the Signal chats. Get ready with your chants, make a sign, stand for something, or you will fall for anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're with 5051?
I am, yes.
Okay, and for those not familiar with that organization.
5051 is a non-violent public protest that organizes on a regular basis, so you can just jump in and show up. Your only job is to show up. That's it. All you got to do is that. You don't have to be more involved than that, but you can be if you want to be, and there are next steps for how to do that.
Okay. What kind of message are you and your colleagues hoping to send today?
We are hoping to send the message that Donald Trump and his administration is unacceptable for the vast majority of our country, and everyone needs to get their crap together. Okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, again, it's a little difficult making its way through the sidewalk here. I'm sorry, excuse me, because so many people are showing up today. But everybody, what I have noticed that people are really watching out for each other, telling each other to drink water, be careful, watch out for the heat, watch out, there's a stroller right behind you. So, and you do have all ages here. We've seen families here, we've seen older individuals here, we've seen younger individuals here, teenagers, 20s, all ages are here. We've seen individuals wearing their veterans hats. How are you, sir? I'm Robert Arnold with KPRC.
KPRC.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Sammy.
Sammy, why are you here?
To make my voice heard. I don't need anybody to tell me what I should do, when I should do it. I have a voice. I'm an independent individual here in this country. And up to now, nobody's been afraid to speak up. And now you got people terrified. So due process isn't just for me or for you or for him. It's for everybody.
So I see you in Vietnam, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Marines.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Sammy.
You betcha. No
I appreciate
problem.
meeting you. Thank you. All right. Thank you for your time. Hi, everybody. All right. So again, more and more people continue to show up. The speakers continue. This event's supposed to go until noon at this time, and we will keep updating you throughout the morning. Reporting live from downtown, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Thank you, Robert, giving us a firsthand look at what those who are in attendance are experiencing out there. He was in the area near Smith and McKinney, where you could see just how vast the crowd is out there at this peaceful protest taking place in front of City Hall. Now, we are going to go ahead and listen to some of the speakers. We have seen various different representatives out there this morning, from state reps, congressional leaders, city leaders. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
People power. Because the kind of respect we're fighting for doesn't come from a flyover or a parade. It comes from action, from housing our people, feeding our troops, and honoring service with justice, not vanity. I'm going to get real personal with y'all right quick. I remember when I was a young soldier, standing in a checkout line at the commissary. And behind me was a young soldier and his wife. And I see them reach into the wallet and pull out food stamps. Seeing that they had enough WIC to be able to get formula for their brand new baby. Having to decide whether or not to get how many Pampers to get because they didn't have enough money to do it. I looked at the cashier register, I said, how much are they short? I got it. That image is still burned in my mind to this day.
Do you have an intention?
How are we spending millions on tanks in the streets while folks standing guard can't feed their babies at home? So if you take one thing with you from this rally today, let it be this. Veterans and military families have always been on the front lines of justice. From Little Rock to Standing Rock, from Kent State to Kabul, we know the cost of war. We know the cost of silence. And we refuse to be silent or be silenced. So let's make it plain here in the heart of Texas, in Houston. We don't serve kings. We serve the people, and we're not going anywhere. Thank you. No kings, just us.
Let's pick it up on the Keisha. I'm going to bring to the mic someone who has always fought for our democracy here in Houston and in Washington. He's no stranger. I'm going to introduce to you Congressman Al Green.
Thank you, Jackie. If I may just start with this, friends. There were people who spent a lot of time to bring this event to fruition. They were awake at night. They took a lot of risks, but they're proud to do what they've done. And I think we should be proud to acknowledge what they have done. Would you give the organizers a big expression of love, please? A big expression of love for the organizers. By way of further introduction, I'm the Al Green who stood up at the joint session of Congress to his face that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. Medicaid is health care for the American people. I'm the Al Green who believes that a president who says that judges ought to be impeached because he doesn't like the judgments that they rendered. I'm the Al Green who believes that that president ought to be impeached. That when you take a Mr. Abigail Garcia out of this country, deny him his right to due process, lock him up in some prison in some distant place, and don't want to return him, I'm the Al Green who says that you're violating the Constitution and you ought to be impeached. But I want you to know this. We are not a country that will tolerate persons appearing on the street and taking women into custody and pulling a mask down over their faces. In this country, the police wear no mask. Demask the police in the country. And I want you to know, I'm going back to Congress with one thing in mind. I want you to know that when the courts can't stop him and when Congress won't stop him, then there's going to be at least one member of Congress who is going to bring articles of impeachment against him. I'm pledging to you right here, right now, that when I go back to Congress, there will be a vote to impeach Donald John Trump. There will be a vote to impeach a 34-time convicted felon, a 2-time impeachment president. There will be a vote to impeach him because he is unfit to be president. God bless the United States of America. Thank you. God bless you.
The AFL-CIO, Hanny Khalil.
Thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hanny Khalil. I'm Executive Director of the Gulf Coast AFL-CIO. That's the federation of 75 unions and 60,000 union members fighting for working people right here in Houston and across the Gulf Coast. Let me start by thanking our brothers and sisters from the Theater and Stagehands Union Local 51 for handling our AV today. And let me also say this. I've been to a lot of demonstrations. I've been to a lot of marches and rallies here at City Hall. This is by far the biggest rally at City Hall I have ever been to. Give yourself a hand. So y'all should know that Texas unions do not put up with would-be kings. We fight for the Texas that all of us deserve. And we do not bow down before bullies or billionaires who want to stop us from getting there. Every day, unionized workers fight for fairness and due process in the workplace. So when more and more of our members, our co-workers, our family members are met with workplace raids by ICE.
Again, we are taking a live look. This is special coverage of the peaceful protests coordinated by the group No Kings. This is taking place on the front of City Hall in downtown Houston. We've heard from various different speakers this morning. State Representative Gene Wu, Congressman Al Green. We were just listening in the Texas Gulf Coast AFL-CIO. In the crowd, however, we do have our reporters. Robert Arnold as well as TJ Parker. They are speaking with those who have chose to show up this morning about why they wanted to be there. We heard many referencing the peaceful feeling, the sentiment that they were having out there. We're going to go ahead and check in with our TJ Parker out there. He has been in the crowd, a very large crowd out there, which appears just to continue to grow. TJ, can you talk to us about that sentiment? We heard Robert saying that there were people trying to help others get water. We've seen those of various different ages out there. What has the sentiment and the feeling been like out there this morning?
Well, Brittany, there really has been a sense of community out here, and that's kind of what we heard. We're talking to that one woman the last time you came to me, Gretchen, and asked her about, what her thoughts were seeing all these people that came out very early this morning to be a part of this demonstration, to listen to these speakers, to walk the city streets here in downtown Houston. And she really emphasized the fact that there is really, truly a sense of community with this large crowd. I can't tell you how many people are here, but you can tell from the people that are around me that it is very packed. We know from organizers that more than 4,000 people did RSVP online, but they were expecting a lot more. We've also seen some medics here too. It is very hot today. As you can imagine, it's June in Houston, and people are outside in a packed space. We have seen some medics out here as well. Some of the speakers talking about that, keeping an eye on each other for whatever reason that may be. So again, we are listening to the speakers right now. You had mentioned some of those folks. Brittany, Al Green spoke. Councilmember Abby Kamen spoke. We also heard from Molly Cook. A lot of people up here talking just about, their experience and also why they're here today. So certainly interesting as we continue to listen in on that. I don't know, can we show the crowd over here a little bit, Michael? We are so packed in here, Brittany, and City Hall, the reflecting pond, it's incredible because when we were here earlier this morning at 6, Brittany, this place was empty, right, at that hour. But now that we're here, this place filled up quickly, and people are packed in here trying to listen in to what is being said as they practice their First Amendment rights here for this No Kings protest. But, Brady, we're going to go ahead and send it back to you. We'll have maybe some folks talking to us in the next time you come to us, sharing their thoughts on why they came out today.
All right, TJ Parker giving us a live look out there. He's been there, as he referenced, since 6 o'clock this morning. We saw as City Hall was empty this morning. We watched as more and more people started to show up. As you can see, Smith and McKinney, that area there, full of people, of demonstrators out there. Our reporters giving us a look at what they're experiencing, why they wanted to show up out there today. Our Robert Arnold has been in and amongst the crowd. And Robert, I think you were giving us a really good sense of what it looks like as far as how many people are there. So many showing up this morning. Tell us where you are right now and what's going on.
Okay. So we've moved to the other side of City Hall. We're now in between Smith and Bagby. And what I was speaking about earlier is that you have the entire area in front of City Hall was filled up. But so many people have shown up. They've now come over to Tranquility Park. So that's City Hall. You're looking there. And my photographer Xavier's going around to all the people now who are here at Tranquility Park as well. And more people continue to show up. Watch it. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. More and more people continue to show up to this crowd to listen to the speakers here. As you've been showing, you have speakers from Congress, peoples from Congress, you have state representatives, you have council members, you have members of various different organizations all speaking here today. As we've been talking to the crowd, most people say they want to be here to make sure that their voice is heard. And I'll talk to this gentleman. We're live streaming on KPRC. What's your name?
Billy Munoz.
Billy, why are you here, Billy?
I'm just here, to help and, support our people that are, getting mistreated. And we all come from the planet Earth, We all have the right from birth to be in peace, and we're all made out of the same elements, and hopefully later on everybody can figure that out and come together and realize that we're all just human, you know.
For people who are watching this elsewhere, what overarching message would you like people to take away from today?
Just, you know, if you're good people, and you should know if you're doing right or wrong, you know. You shouldn't be, you know, judging people by their skin or their color or their beliefs, just as long as they have good intentions. Of course there's bad apples, but they can learn from, you know, everybody coming together, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate talking to you. Take care. All right. One of the things that we have noticed, and I think you had talked about it a minute ago, Brittany, is people have really been trying to watch out for each other out here, making sure that people, somebody's calling for a medic here because it looks like somebody may be in a little bit of distress from the heat. It's pretty hot out here and it's pretty packed, so people are calling for a medic to get help here. So give me a second. Let me try and see what's going on. Hang on. Police are coming in. Oh, poor lady. It's very hot out here. And like I said, so people are watching out for each other, making sure that they get help, making sure that they get some water, everything. You have police here, you have medic stations set up, pallets of water were brought in this morning by volunteers, so there is plenty of help here, and the crowd is making sure that those who need help are getting it. So far, everything here has been upbeat, positive in terms of the gathering. You have HPD on the perimeter here, but they're staying on the perimeter. We've seen no other issues, anything of that nature. It is staying peaceful, as the organizers have repeatedly stated. They want to keep this peaceful. They want to make sure that it's peaceful. That keeps getting repeated over and over again as new speakers go to the mic. So we're going to continue walking through the crowd. We're going to continue updating you throughout the morning. But for now, we are live at City Hall. Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
And Robert, if I may ask you, we just saw that woman asking for a medic. You've done a great job of showing us what is available out there for our folks in terms of safety precautions, because as you referenced, it's June. It is Houston, Texas. It is hot out there. We referenced the water pellets. What are you seeing as far as the safety precautions out there to try to keep people safe?
Just that. You have police officers here. They're watching over the crowd. You have medics from Red Cross have different stations set up. Again, pallets of water were brought out, and so that's what everybody's doing right now, trying to make sure that they stay hydrated, they try and stay cool. We've got a little bit of a breeze coming through, so it's not that just incredible heat that we usually experience in June, but still, for a lot of people, it can get overwhelming, especially when you get in a packed crowd like this. So everybody's kind of watching out for everybody with those extra resources on the perimeter to help out.
Robert, thank you so much for that live report. We appreciate it. Of course, they've been bringing us a live look from the crowd, speaking with those who chose to attend this morning. We're going to go ahead and go back to the stage, to the front of City Hall, where we've been hearing from various community leaders, state representatives. Let's take a listen.
Even when enough of us stand up and speak it, the lies will begin to crumble. We are free, we don't bow. We are free. We will not bow. We're not put here to blend in. We're put here to be bold. To be bold in the light of darkness, and to remind the world that truth still matters. Justice still matters. Democracy still matters. And doing what is right, even if it costs us, is still worth it. Introduce is the Secretary-Treasurer of the AFT, serving 1.8 million members, including pre-K through 12th grade teachers, paraprofessionals, and other school-related personnel, higher education faculty and professional staff, federal, state, and local government employees, and nurses and other healthcare professionals. He is the immediate past president of the 140,000-member Florida Education Association. He served on the AFT Executive Council as the AFT Vice President for 6 years, before being elected as the AFT Secretary-Treasurer. Since becoming Secretary-Treasurer of the AFT in 2010, he has amplified the voices of AFT members nationwide, particularly on education, labor, and racial justice. In 2022, he was elected to serve as trustee of the board of the NAACP Foundation, appointed by President Joe Biden to serve as the Presidential Advisory Commission on Advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunity for Black Americans from 2023 to 2025. He grew up in the inner city of Miami, where he attended public schools. Pursuing his love of music, he attended Bethune-Cookman University on scholarship and became the first member of his family to earn a post-secondary degree in music education. He would go on to become a music teacher and a band director in Miami-Dade public schools for 10 years. He is also an accomplished musician in his own right and has performed throughout the state and nationally as a saxophone soloist. I have so much more I could say, but time just won't permit. So I will present to you my friend and brother, Fred C. Ingram, Secretary-Treasurer of the AFT.
Houston! Houston! No. I came all the way from Washington, D.C. to see Houston! In the Union Hall, we said, when our rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When our rights are under attack, what do we do? When our rights are under attack, what do we do? Houston, are you in the house? They came, y'all, they came. People who care about freedom. People who care about justice. People who care about this country. People who love our public schools. People who love our students and our children. People who care about immigrant rights. People who don't care who you love. People who will stand up to Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. I say this every day, but I'm going to say it to you, Houston. Donald Trump, we're not afraid of you. We're not afraid of you. We're not afraid of your oligarchs. We're not afraid of your billionaire buddies. We are the people. So why come down to Houston? Why come down? Why is this important to the nation? Why is this important to the world? 5 days. In 5 days, we celebrate something called Juneteenth. 5 days. Just a little over 30 miles from here. Way back in 1865, some people were freed right here on this very land in Texas. And today, we're coming back again to say we are free people in the United States of America. Listen, Martin Luther King Jr. talked about the beloved community, and I have to think that he would only imagine this sea of people, people from all races, people from all colors, people from all zip codes standing together for one country, for one thing, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That is who we are. I want to thank you all for coming out. But I also want to challenge you, because this is the first step to a journey. We need to continue to speak out and make sure that our voices are heard all over this country. People are standing with you. Yes, you see all of the cameras. You see the helicopters. You see everything. They're showing you, Houston. They're showing you. That means that they're showing courage. That means that they're showing honor. That means that they're showing heart. And so as we march today, we want to let you know from the American Federation of Teachers, the AFT, 1.8 million teachers and healthcare workers and public schools workers who give their lifeblood and soul to our young generation, that we must continue to do this. We must get this right. Elections have consequences. Elections have consequences. Elections have consequences.
If you're just joining us on the KPRC2 Plus live stream, we are bringing you special coverage of the peaceful protest that has been coordinated by the group No Kings. The organization has organized demonstrations all across the country, standing against what they say are the policies of the current White House administration. Our Robert Arnold is there. He's been speaking with those in attendance this morning. Now, Robert, I understand that the march is set to begin shortly.
Yeah,
It's starting, yes. They move forward. HPD is getting everybody in place to go ahead and begin that march. You have Houston police officers on the flanks providing an escort. This is the second part of this 2-hour No Kings protest in downtown Houston. They're going to start this. We're told that they're going to march on, we're on McKinney here now at the, heading towards Austin Street. And so that's where they're going. You have HPD here on ATVs. You have Mounted Patrol to provide security on the sides and to provide an escort. So that's going to start here in a minute, and as soon as they start moving forward, we'll start talking to some of these individuals and ask them about this second part of the protest, where they're going exactly at this part. So just listen for a minute. They're getting everybody ready, and I think HPD was telling everybody they're ready as well.
What do we do?
You have a lot of different groups out here who have come together under this one banner of No Kings, but you have several different organizations as well as individuals who are just out here on their own behalf or their families' behalf to speak out today. So there's a lot of different ideas out here, a lot of different viewpoints being expressed, but all under this one No Kings banner. So far, everything's been very positive. Everybody's been taking care of everybody in terms of making sure everybody gets enough water. There's medic stations that have been set up for those who got a little too hot in the crowd, as well as the June heat. So again, here is the second half of this No Kings protest. This is the march on McKinney Street at Smith. That's our intersection. And they say right now they're going to be marching down to Austin Street. We're going to try and get a little bit more information as to why they picked this route, if there's anything specific with it, or it's just a symbolic march at this point. There's HPD Mounted Patrol now lining up on the other side, getting ready to follow the protesters as they march down McKinney to Austin. Can we speak to you? Can we speak to you? I'm Robert with KPRC Channel 2. We're live streaming. You're marching to Austin, we hear. Talk about what message do you want to send with this particular march?
I want to send the message that deporting families that have been here for years is absolutely insane. Deporting foster care students is absolutely insane. Donald Trump attacking checks and balances is insane. I feel like I'm losing my mind because I don't understand how people don't see what is wrong. I mean, I guess they just listen to him and they believe everything he says completely. This is a sign my little niece made. She said, "This land is your land, this land is my land, and no human is illegal on stolen land."
Are you marching to anywhere specific, or is it just to march down and then to come back?
Yes, just to march down and come back.
I understand. I didn't know if there was a specific destination at this point. Okay. What was your name?
I'm Vanessa.
I'm Robert. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry. All right. Thank you. All right. So again, I guess they're still waiting to move forward till HPD is ready. You have the ATFs here in front. ATVs here in front to lead the protesters, Mounted Patrol on the side as they walk down. Again, it's a symbolic march down McKinney to Austin Street.
And our Robert Arnold has been there for several hours now, as well as TJ Parker, giving us a first-hand look of those in attendance, speaking with those, sharing their sentiment and their reasoning for wanting to be out here this morning. Of course, we know the protest was coordinated by the group No Kings. The protest started around 10 o'clock this morning. This is in front of Houston City Hall. But we know that from coast to coast, various different protests have been set up today, hundreds of them here locally in the Houston area. We know of at least 10 from League City to Sugar Land, Katy, Cypress, Conroe, Brenham, Cold Springs, and even Huntsville holding these protests here today. We have heard the impassioned reasoning as to why those in the crowd chose to show up today. Our TJ Parker bringing us that perspective from the crowd. He talked about very peaceful references. Although they say that the crowd was very large, they described the fact that people there were looking out for one another. They referenced the fact that they were bringing water to help those in the crowd. People of all ages showing up in attendance. I saw a man there who had a baby in a stroller. We're seeing young and old in the crowd. Robert Arnold also giving us a look at those who stepped in to help someone who is having an issue, perhaps due to the heat. It is June in Texas. It is very hot. There's a lot of people out there. They were asking for a medic. Robert referenced the fact that there are pallets of water. There are medic stations out there. He said that there were many different parameters set up as far as safety is concerned. He referenced mounted patrol on the outside of the group out there to provide assistance if needed. He described this as very peaceful, but again, he said that people appeared to be looking out for one another as they described why they wanted to be there. Hearing from the community, some said that they were there to show solidarity for their community members, as well as with people across the country. Others telling our Robert Arnold that they wanted to make their voices heard. Now, this is from the crowd. These are from Houstonians who showed up there today. We have also seen, as you can see here, a live look of those standing on the steps of City Hall. We've heard from various different representatives. Council members were there. State Representative Jean Wu, Congressman Al Green, sharing their messages with the crowd. If we can we go ahead and take a listen?
Been said today, and I want not to repeat those things, but I do want us to leave this place today in this march and going forward, spreading this message that we're one human family, no matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak, no matter what religion you practice, and no matter your political affiliation. God made all of us, and we're all God's children. We are brothers and sisters. We are one human family. Unfortunately, there are those who are misguided, who are trying to deceive us with misinformation, to pit people against people, fueling man's inhumanity to man. We see evil, we see hatred, we see violence, we see murders, we see people acting animalistic towards other human beings because they are misguided, deceived, and dysfunctional. But we are not going to allow those lies to divide us, to separate us, or to silence us, because together we stand and divided we fall. This movement today is a love movement. And in this nation we have sacred documents. One says, we the people. Come on, say, we the people. The whole notion of one man being made a king goes against that fundamental principle, the principle of democracy. We know that the Constitution tells us, our Declaration tells us, that we are all made of one God with certain inalienable rights, and we refuse to surrender. We refuse to bow down. We reject any notion of any man who thinks he can be king over us. Let me close with this. As we march today, let's chant our faith, let's chant our fearlessness, and let's chant that we are a righteous force for justice. And this is what America looks like. This is what justice looks like.
Of course, we are taking a live look now in front of City Hall, hearing from various different people as part of the No Kings protest. Now, we've also had a firsthand look from the crowd, from our reporters who have been there for several hours. Our TJ Parker has been there since 5 o'clock this morning, giving us a look at what those in attendance are experiencing out there. TJ, we understand a march is set to begin shortly.
Yes, so that is, as you can see, these people behind me, they're making their way from the steps in the pond out front of City Hall to McKinney Street here because they're going to start marching on the street. So can we kind of pan and show the group here that's doing that? Yeah, so Brittany, we just heard about this maybe within the past few minutes or so as those speakers were up there speaking. We also saw some of the event organizers also trying to rally the people here on the sidewalks, trying to get them to move over to McKinney Street here as they will begin that march. I do want to bring in some more people, though, who came out for this rally, this demonstration today. This is Cecilia.
Hi.
She is from Houston.
I am.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you.
Talk about your reasoning coming out here today and the support that you're seeing with all these people.
So I am here to support the freedom and the rights for all. I am devastated about what is going on in our country. It makes me very unhappy and sad to see the travesties that are occurring all across our nation. I am from Houston, Texas. I am from this land. And to say that we don't stand for each other is not true. We are united. As you can see, we're all standing out here in one voice and justice for all. Because we all deserve to be heard. We all stand to gain something from what is occurring now in our nation. We are writing history. We are standing up for what we believe. And if we stay silent, change will not happen. And I will not stay silent, and I will fight back.
Cecilia, we heard from organizers, 4,000 people RSVP'd to this event. They're expecting more. I mean, you look around here, there's obviously a lot more people than that here. When you see this crowd here outside of City Hall, what does that tell you about the community as a whole that you're seeing out here today?
That we are united. We stand for all. It makes me very happy to see all of us together in one place, voicing our voice, so it could be very clear that we will not stand for what is going on in our nation. The injustice, the travesty that is going on with human beings. So it makes me very happy to know I am not alone.
It's been peaceful, too.
Very peaceful. Very peaceful.
Cecilia, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. Have a good day. Take care. Thank you. So, yeah, that was Cecilia. She lives here in Houston. This is, again, Brittany, the sentiment that we're getting from a lot of the people that we're talking to here who are participating in today's demonstration. Again, so we're here right off to the left side of City Hall on McKinney Street, on the McKinney Street side of City Hall. But as you can see, they're now moving these folks out of the park onto the street because that march is about to start. So we're going to follow them as they do so, Brittany, and we'll bring more updates to you as they come in, but we'll send it back to you.
And TJ, you've truly shown us the evolution of the crowd since 6 o'clock this morning and where we are now. Thank you for bringing us that perspective. We also have our Robert Arnold out there near Smith and Bagby. Just about 10 minutes ago, we saw as folks were starting to line up. Robert, what's going on out there right now?
Well, the march is temporarily halted. We made it about a block here to Louisiana Street, but a gentleman right there past that gentleman in the orange shirt fell. When he fell, they immediately halted the march. Everybody raced to help him. Oh, it's good. He's up now. He went down pretty hard and hit his head. So they immediately got help to him. HPD was here. They got medics on the way over here. Other people rushed in with some water and using their signs as some shade for him. And like I said, he just got up and moved out of the way. So we're expecting the march to resume any minute now. But that's what we've been seeing out here throughout the entirety of this event. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Sorry, sir. Watch out, watch out. There, now the march is starting again. But that's what I was saying. We've been seeing that the entirety of this time. People looking out for each other, providing water, help when it's needed, make sure everybody is all right. So move over here on the periphery as the march has again started. So we're going from City Hall to Austin Street is the plan at this point. March there, and then that should take up the entirety of the rest of this event. It was a 2-hour event. You had people speaking for an hour, and now this march for an hour under this banner of No Kings. You had members of Congress, council members, state representatives, all out here speaking, as well as organizations from around the Houston area. You had the American Federation of Teachers here, one of the main organizers of this particular No Kings event at this time. So talk to some of these people. You talk to you. Your live stream. Nope. You want to talk with us? No. What brought you out here? Why marching?
Change for the nation. Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on in the world right now. We need to come together. We need to be united. This is not a democracy. We do not need kings. This is why we're out here right now.
What's your name?
Alondra.
All right, Robert, thank you. Alondra, thank you. Oh, sorry. So again, we have a lot of different viewpoints, a lot of different organizations out here all coming together under this one No Kings banner. And again, this march now, we're coming up on Milam Street, and the plan is to go all the way to Austin Street. This event is expected to end at noon, but may go longer at that point, so we're just going to keep watching. You have HPD on front. Wait. All right, sorry. There was chants, different chants have been going on. They also have turned this into somewhat of a food drive as well. They were accepting food donations as well. Officer was asking someone else if found out. It doesn't look that way. You have officers on ATV positioned at the intersections as well as at the leading edge of this march. You also have mounted patrol that's been around as well, working the periphery, the flanks to make sure that there's no problems. And there hasn't been any problems at all this morning. It's been a positive event. Everybody watching out for everybody. And we're going to continue following this march and keep updating you for the rest of the morning until this event is ended. Reporting live from downtown, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Robert, thank you for that perspective. He has been in and amongst the crowd now since 10 o'clock, since the beginning of the No Kings demonstration there at City Hall, speaking with those in the crowd. Various reasons why some have said that they are there asking for change, say they are fighting injustices out there. Robert giving us a look as that march proceeds. They are making their way from City Hall to Austin Street. We've also seen many speakers take the microphone out there today as the crowds had organized. I don't know if we still have a live look, if we can go there to see our crowds. And I think our TJ Parker has been out there as well, speaking with folks who are there. But in the meantime, it is important to note that these No Kings demonstrations have been taking place all across the country today. And we have learned events in Anoka and Northeast Minneapolis have been canceled today following the targeted shootings at the homes of 2 Minnesota lawmakers. Governor Tim Walz says Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed, and State Senator John Huffman and his wife were wounded. Right now, it's unclear if the No Kings event in St. Paul will continue. And we are going to come back after a short break. You're watching KPRC 2 News live stream. There's not. Okay, I wasn't sure. That's okay. You can just tell me no if not. And it's supposed to go until noon-ish. joining us. I'm Brittany Jeffers here with you on the KPRC 2 Plus live stream. Since 10 o'clock, we have been bringing you special coverage of peaceful protests that have been coordinated by the group No Kings. Now, these protests are taking place nationwide as well as across several different Houston cities here. So they say they're taking a stand against policies from the current White House administration. Right now, you're taking a live look from City Hall. We've been there. Our reporters, Robert Arnold and TJ Parker, have been there for hours, speaking with those in attendance who chose to show up today as part of this demonstration. We watched as they started their march, making their way from City Hall to Austin Street. Right now, we have TJ Parker in and amongst the crowd. He has been speaking with people there for several hours about their reasonings and desire to come out there this morning. TJ.
Yeah, and Brittany, talking to those people, they're all sharing that same reasoning coming out here, just sharing that sense of community and appreciating that sense of community coming out for the No Kings protest that is happening outside of City Hall. But now you can see these people behind me now. They're leaving the City Hall grounds and they're heading to McKinney Street here. As you just mentioned, you heard Robert Arnold talking about it too, as that march is now taking place. These people walking through the streets of downtown Houston. I'm going to introduce you to some more folks who have attended or are attending this protest today. Want to bring you all in. Hello.
Hello.
What is your all's names?
Mina.
Mina, okay.
Rachel.
And Rachel. Okay, so we're here with Mina and Rachel. They came out for the No Kings protest this morning. Give me your thoughts on what you're seeing so far here.
Amazing. Great to see all these people showing Trump that there is some limitation. The people have to limit the power of Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rachel, talk about your decision to come out here today. Why did you decide to come out?
So it's actually my birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
And it's also Trump's birthday. And so it felt like the correct way to celebrate the birthday was to come out and support the protest and march and be here in a community. As opposed to going to the parade in D.C. for his birthday, this feels like a much better use of time.
Yeah, talk about this crowd too. I mean, thousands of people out here. Your thoughts on seeing the community come out here in such numbers?
I think I'm really proud that people really are stepping up, and it's almost like a whiplash from last year to this year. What a change. And I've been to a few protests and marches before, but never in Houston. So it's really good to see that even in a Republican state, we really have such support and such community and such strength in numbers here.
Yeah, we've seen some of those images out of Los Angeles earlier this week. This has been very peaceful.
Yes.
Talk about that. I mean,
very peaceful. Everybody's been really nice, handing out water. The signs have been great. It's been very organized and very calm.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rachel. Happy birthday. Mina, thank you for talking with us as well. Enjoy your day. So you heard her talking about people helping each other out. You heard Robert talking about that. That is really kind of the thing that we've seen around here. We've also seen those medics because it is hot out here, Brittany, as we've been talking about. It's June in Houston, so of course those medics are necessary to kind of keep an eye on the folks as it does get hotter throughout the day and as these people start to walk. We, again, watching these people as they leave the City Hall grounds. I also want to make note, too, we are seeing Houston police officers. They're kind of off in the perimeter there, keeping a close eye on things. We've heard from city leaders throughout the week saying that, they appreciate people exercising their First Amendment rights. They don't want any violence, though, so they're wanting to keep things peaceful. We've heard from organizers as well who said that they want to keep things peaceful. And so far, for the most part, Brittany, things have been pretty peaceful. We're hearing those chants going on right now. Again, people just keeping an eye out for each other as they hit McKinney Street here and head out on that march. Brittany?
Yeah, that really seems to be the sentiment that we keep hearing as far as the atmosphere is concerned. And I know that was a concern. A lot of people expressing concerns about potential unrest after what we were seeing in LA. But again, talk to me about what folks are. I just heard a woman describe this as a very calm environment out there.
Well, Brittany, I know you were here in 2020 for the George Floyd protests, as I was, and we saw those images as well. And that demonstration, if you remember, I'm sure you do, it was very civil as well compared to a lot of other cities where we saw some of the unrest. But here in Houston, at least in the past few years, if we've ever had anything like this, it has stayed pretty civil. And so that is certainly something that we are seeing here. People want to stay peaceful, and that is certainly the sentiment that we're getting from those folks that we've been talking to all day long. And of course from city leaders, as well as the police department, and then organizers as well. They're really wanting people to just stay peaceful as they hit the streets here this afternoon.
And TJ, if I can ask you also, because we've been talking about the heat, we've been talking about the crowd there, we've seen medics intervene in a couple of different situations. One where a man had an issue at the beginning of the march. It appeared someone was having an issue with the heat. There's a lot of safety parameters set up there. I mean, it appears Houston's very prepared for this. Talk about that, what you're seeing as far as, the water pallets and everything out there.
Right, so it does seem like this rally was very well organized, right? So we have the police officers here, we have the medics that are also here on hand just in case there are some issues, as you had mentioned, those issues earlier with the heat, some people needing some attention because they were dealing with that. But again, this is a very organized march. You can see these people are now leaving City Hall, but it is really incredible here, Brittany, to see the organization level at this march as these people head out to McKinney Street here.
TJ, thank you so much. He's been out there for hours since 6 o'clock this morning, really seeing the evolution of the crowd. Our Robert Arnold also giving us a firsthand look. He has been marching with the demonstrators a lot near them along that line, speaking with them about why they chose to come out there today. Robert, what's taking place out there right now?
Okay, so the march is now on Austin Street, and we're headed towards Walker Street. It stopped a little bit because it's trying to warn everybody. You've got a lot of these bumps in the road that kind of protect the bicycle lanes along Austin. So they were trying to stop everybody, let them know, hey, watch out for these bumps so they don't have any trouble with people tripping, especially with so many people together. You don't want to cause like a domino effect. So now we're moving again, and we're going to be taking a left now on Walker Street. Looks like we're just going to be making one big square back to City Hall. Listening to my colleague TJ, though, this is quite a lengthy march because we're here at the beginning and he's down at City Hall and he's still saying people are leaving. So this is a long march that, like I said, looks like it's making a big square. We're now again taking our left on Walker Street, headed back towards City Hall. So I'm going to walk back into the crowd and see if I can talk to some people again like I had before. So, you doing okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay. So we're live streaming on KPRC2. What's your name?
My name is Jermaine Hector.
Why are you here?
I'm here because we're sick and tired of Trump. We're sick and tired of these immigrants. We're sick and tired of ICE. We need to impeach Trump. It's time for him to get out of office.
What does it mean for you to be at this event today?
It means a lot to me to be here. We need to represent America. We need to represent all Americans because this is wrong what he's doing. What he's doing is wrong for the Constitution. He needs to be gone. And this is affecting my family as well because it affects my mom when it comes to Medicare. It affects my whole family because I have a sister who's in a nursing home. It affects her Medicare. It affects Medicaid, everything. He needs to be out. This is time. This is sickening. We're tired of this.
One of the things that we've seen today is a collection of a lot of different groups, a lot of different viewpoints, all coming together under this one banner. Are you a member of a group, or like you said, you're here representing your family?
I represent for my family. I represent for everybody who's dealing with this every day, who's dealing with Medicaid problems, who's dealing with just with ICE period, just this Constitution period. It needs to be stopped. There is no king here in America. There's only one king, and that's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
And as far as this march goes, plan to go back to City Hall?
Yes, sir. We're going to go march back to City Hall and try to take what's ours, because this is our city.
Thank you for talking to me, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, one of the things, and I know you've been talking about it, TJ has been talking about it, but people have really, really been watching out for each other in this area. Oh, there's so it's kind of looping each other. So I talked about how long a march this is. So you have the crowd we're in seeing the other side, the other part of the march that's just now coming down McKinney. And so they're cheering for each side. So as I said, this is a very long march that is taking place. We started at City Hall. Now we're approaching Caroline Street on Walker back to City Hall. So one big square, and that whether this event will continue once everybody gets back to City Hall, we're going to have to wait and see. But the first hour, 10 a.m., it started almost right straight up at 10 a.m. You had a lot of speakers there. You had members of Congress, you had council members, you had state representatives, you had members of labor organizations, as well as other political action groups or activist groups through here. And then now you have this march. HPD's been on the leading edge with ATVs. You've also had them on the periphery to make sure no one's been hurt. You have Mounted Patrol that's also been on the periphery making sure no one's been hurt. They've been instrumental in getting medics to people who have been hurt. One of the things, too, and I think you would ask TJ this, and I saw the same thing, is this protest was well organized. They showed up early with water. They had set up medic stations before the crowds moved in, so they were in that inner perimeter and they could get to people quickly. And we saw that when people were having trouble with the heat, maybe getting a little dehydrated, we were able to see those medics get in there. So now again, we're headed back to City Hall. We're on Walker, approaching San Jacinto, and every time we go by an intersection and they look across to our left, they can see the other half of the march that's still coming around, making that square, and they're cheering to one another. That's what's happening right now. So we're going to keep in the crowd. We're going to keep going down to City Hall, and then we're going to see what happens after this march ends. Reporting live from downtown, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Robert Arnold giving us a firsthand look as those demonstrators make their way near and around downtown Houston near City Hall. We've been bringing you special live coverage here on the KPRC 2 Plus live stream. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll rejoin you shortly. And welcome back, and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Jeffers here with you on a KPRC 2 Plus live stream. Over the course of the morning, we have been bringing you firsthand special coverage of peaceful protests that were coordinated by the group No Kings. And of course, these protests have been happening coast to coast nationwide, but several happening here in the Houston area, 10 in the vicinity from Sugar Land to League City, Brenham, and Katy. But you are taking a look from the protest this morning taking place from City Hall. We saw various different people take the microphone this morning, from labor organizations to activist groups. We saw state representatives and congressmen share their message as to why they felt it was important to be there this morning. Of course, the No Kings organization organized these demonstrations across the country. They say they're standing against the policies of the current White House administration. Again, this started around 10 o'clock this morning. We would like to go ahead and take a listen from some of those representatives who took the microphone this morning, one of which was State Representative Jean Wu.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Jean Wu. I'm a state rep out of Southwest Houston. I'm not here as a politician. I don't want to be here as a politician. I want to be here as an American. I want to be here as a Texan. And I want to tell you why I'm here and why I'm happy you're here. It's not just about the ICE raids. It's not just about the loss of due process. Why I'm glad to see all of you, why I'm pissed off, is because for the last half century, our government has spent its time stripping away everything that helps make us great. Strip away all the things that puts us back in the middle class, all the things that keeps the American dream of life, thing after thing, education, healthcare, infrastructure, everything been stripped away piece by piece. And we've given it up to the billionaires. We've given it up to the money class. We've given it up to the big donors and the corporations. And all of us are here because we're looking around each other and saying, why do I work so hard but suffer so much? And the reason why that's important is because then we look for somebody to blame. And whether it's immigrants or trans kids or Muslims or any other group that is having their neck stepped on by Donald Trump and Republicans. It doesn't matter what we need to fight, is fight against all of that. Fight against this idea that Americans are just here to work and grind themselves to death so you can make money. I want to rebuild the American dream. I want us to fight for what made us great. I want to fight for us to be the beacon on the hill again. I want to fight for us to be proud to go out into the world and say we're Americans. I want us to be the best again. And we can be the best when we come together. When we stand up for everything that we knew to be true when we grew up. When they taught us that America is the heart of democracy around the world, we should live up to that. When they say America is the ultimate fighter for freedom around the world, we should live up to that. When they say America is the example of how people live together and be tolerant and loving and welcome one another, and that's how they became great. Let's live up to that. I'm tired of America being known for mass shootings, mass debt, mass deportations. I want us to go back to what the world knew America as. We are the machine that destroys kings.
Thank you, Jackie. If I may just start with this, friends. There were people who spent a lot of time to bring this event to fruition. They were awake at night. They took a lot of risks, but they're proud to do what they've done. And I think we should be proud to acknowledge what they have done. Would you give the organizers a big expression of love, please? A big expression of love for the organizers. By way of further introduction, I'm the Al Green who stood up at the joint session of Congress face that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. Medicaid is health care for the American people. judges ought to be impeached because he doesn't like the judgments that they rendered. I'm the Al Green who believes that that president ought to be impeached. I'm the Al Green who believes that when you take a Mr. Abigail Garcia out of this country, deny him his right to due process, lock him up in some prison in some distant place, and don't want to return him, I'm the Al Green who says that you're violating the Constitution and you ought to be impeached. But I want you to know this. We are not a country that will tolerate persons appearing on the street and taking women into custody and pulling a mask down over their faces. In this country, the police wear no mask. Demask the police in the country. And I want you to know, I'm going back to Congress with one thing in mind. I want you to know that when the courts can't stop him, and when Congress won't stop him, then there's going to be at least one member of Congress who is going to bring articles of impeachment against him. I'm pledging to you right here, right now, that when I go back to Congress, there will be a vote to impeach Donald John Trump.
You just heard from Congressman Al Green as well as State Representative Jean Wu, of course, taking part of the No Kings demonstration. The organizers say that they are standing against the policies of the current White House administration. This is a live look of the march that is taking place in downtown Houston. Many of those organizers and demonstrators started this morning from Houston City Hall, and we've watched as they made their way from City Hall to Austin Street. Our TJ Parker has been there speaking with those in the crowd, as well as our Robert Arnold. Let's go ahead and see if we can chat with him. Robert, they're still marching.
Yeah, I'm here, Brittany. Can you hear me?
Yes, I've got you.
Yes. Well, okay, so we were at the leading edge of the march, which has now completed. We're back here at City Hall. As I had mentioned, we had made a square. We started at City Hall, we went down McKinney to Austin, and then came back down Walker, made a big square. So this is the end of it. Everybody is going back, funneling into the area in front of Houston City Hall. You still have a long way to go before this march is over. One of the things to give you an indication of just how large this crowd is, we were at the front edge of the crowd, and we had made that turn to come back down Walker. As every intersection we were passing, we saw the rest of the march. So it was a very long stretch of people going through downtown, making that circle to come back down here. So there's about 15 minutes. The organizers had said this was from 10 a.m. to noon. First hour were several speakers that you've been showing and we've been listening to. Then this part is the march. Now that everybody's back at City Hall, we're going to have to wait to see if this is going to continue at this point. So I'm going to probably go back into the crowd, see if I can talk to a few more people as we have now that the march is ending back here at City Hall. So, how you doing? Do you mind talking to us for a second?
I'm not a good public speaker.
Okay, I got it. I understand. How are you guys doing? Do you mind if we talk to us for a second?
I'm good. I appreciate it.
All right. That's
Thank
okay.
you so much.
Take care. All right, I appreciate it. Miss, would you like to speak with us for a minute? We're with KPRC 2. We're live streaming. You want to talk for a second?
Yeah, for a second.
Sure. What's your name?
Brenda.
Okay, I'm Robert. This is Xavier.
What's up?
What brought you out today? Why was it important for you to be here?
My parents.
My parents brought me out today because they had decided for me to have a better future. So I'm here in support for them.
Okay. What did it mean for you to be part of this march?
Everything. It brings a lot of meaning, truthfully, because everyone is an immigrant no matter what, no matter how many generations you want to go down. Nobody truly is inside America, aside from Native Americans.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. So are you guys going to continue the protest? Has there been any talk about that? Okay.
Yes.
Here at City Hall?
Yeah, just for now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
just got here.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, I appreciate it. All right. So people are going to stick around for a little while here. This is one of the things that I've been saying is this has been a large collection of viewpoints, ideas, organizations all coming together under this one No Kings banner. So you've had a lot of different organizations, a lot of different groups out here speaking. Do you want to talk with us now that we're at the end of the march here? What's your name?
She speaks good English.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Alicia.
Okay. Why was it important for you ladies to be here today?
I think it's very important because we are the youth of today and we need to show up and show out. Obviously, there's a lot of things going wrong in this country right now, and we're the future, and we need to show other people in the youth and the older generation that we're going to try to keep this nation safe in the future.
Okay, I've asked a lot of people this and asked you this. Personally, what did it mean for you to be part of this today?
Well, I am Mexican American and African American, and obviously my people have been through so much, and I think it's very important for me to personally show up and show that I'm still here, we're still here. Like, you can't kick us out. We're still going to be here. We're still going to show, like, our passion and everything.
Great. Thank you, ladies, very much. I appreciate it. So the march is going to keep going for a minute as, like I told you, it was a very long trail of people coming through downtown, and we're back here at City Hall, so we're going to keep seeing people completing that march to come back here to Houston City Hall. Everything was peaceful. There were no incidents, at least we saw. Now, we're somewhat limited in our view, but we didn't see anything. Matter of fact, everything we've seen today has been very positive in terms of the way people have treated one another. They've watched out for one another. They've made sure people who have started to fall from the heat or just fall over, trip in the crowd, they've made sure that they've gotten them help. They've gotten them water when they seem dehydrated. So it's been a very positive event here at the Houston City Hall. Matter of fact, we saw the police here. They led the march with officers on ATVs. You had Mounted Patrol here on the flanks watching everything. And one of the things that I saw is one of the main officers that was working with the person who was leading the march. As he came through, he said, "I appreciate it. Thank you. That was very good." The other gentleman who was leading the march said, "Thank you. That was very good." And everybody's gone through. So far, everything has been very positive here today. Reporting live from City Hall, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Yeah, and Robert, you bring up such an important point because you talk about the atmosphere. There was a lot of concern about the unrest following the discourse in L.A. You know, Congressman Wesley Hunt sending that letter to local leaders talking about preparations. And as you're saying, by all accounts, this has been a very peaceful event thus far.
Yes, it has been. It has been.
All right. Thank you so much for your perspective out there, Robert. We do have our TJ Parker out there as well. He has been in front of City Hall watching as some of those who've been marching are now making their way back to City Hall. TJ.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Brittany. We're on the other side from where Robert is here at City Hall. We have been watching as these people who are walking the streets downtown are now making their way back to City Hall. It looks like they're going to be starting some music here as well. But kind of to what Robert was talking about, at least since we have been here, and, you know, we have been here for several hours since very early this morning, things have been very peaceful. And that is what these organizers were wanting, a peaceful march, a peaceful demonstration for this No Kings protest, these protests that are happening not only here in Houston, not only in the Houston area with those other communities, Sugarland and Cypress, but all over the country. I want to bring in Ray Bryant. She has been here probably as long as I've been here this morning. You got here very early this morning.
Good spot.
Yeah, thanks for talking with us this morning. Talk to me about why you got up so early and showed up here outside of City Hall today.
Well, I'm part of the Houston Suffragist Project, and our message is that the women's movement started in 1848, and this is just another chapter in suppression voting rights, women's health, all the reasons people are out here today. And I want all people, young people, to realize this is just another chapter in our nation's history, and we need to stay strong.
Yeah, that's a good point. You see all these people out here today, thousands of people. What does that tell you when you see all these people out here today?
Well, it tells me that individuals in Houston are recognizing that this isn't about someplace else or somebody else. It impacts everyone in our communities.
Yeah. The other thing we've noticed is it's been relatively peaceful, right?
Yes. There was a lot of concern because these kinds of events are growing, and a lot of people are coming here who haven't been to an event like this before. But given what else is happening around the United States, sometimes there are people who are plants. And so there's been a high emphasis on safety, working together, and that larger message that we're all in this together as Americans.
Yeah. Ray, is there anything else you want to tell our viewers who are watching now who maybe didn't make it out to this event but are watching on the KPRC 2 Plus live stream?
Yes. Here in Houston, we have a long, proud history of individuals and groups that have worked to make this a better state, to protect the people who live here, increase our rights. Even 100 years ago, the issues might have been around education, healthcare. They're the same issues that we look to today. So I am glad that you're out here talking to people and giving a broader message. This is a safe place, and we need everyone to work together.
Ray, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. You look great. Thank you so much for joining us here on the stream. Appreciate you. And Brittany, again, you know, Robert and I have been talking to so many people here throughout the morning, and again, you just see the support of each other. It is really incredible, you know, to see that here. So, Brittany, we're going to send it back to you as these people show back up here at City Hall, and looks like somebody's starting to sing here as well. We'll send it back to you.
Our TJ Parker, Robert Arnold, sharing the sentiment from the crowd this morning from the No King demonstrations that started at 10 o'clock this morning. And over the course of this time, we've heard from various different people at the microphone, labor organizations, activist groups. Representative Sylvia Garcia also shared her thoughts.
No kings! 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 You know, every time I think of spending about $45 million on a parade for the military, that really is all about the felon in the White House's birthday. It just about wants to make me throw up. So you know, if all of a sudden when I'm going through this remarks today, I start throwing up, you know why? Because what this man is doing is beyond anything any of us dreamt about as children. When we were in that civics class, that government class, or somebody explained to us what it was about Uncle Sam and the flag. Never did we dream, did we, that we would be faced with someone who actually thinks he's a king. I'm always, y'all may remember I was an impeachment manager. I called him then a wannabe dictator. Wannabe dictator. All his friends the first term were these dictators. He just wanted to be like them. But then somehow he discovered executive orders. And now he thinks a king that he could just decree through the entire kingdom that now we're going to do X. He has actually filed, you all, 162 executive orders where he thinks that what he says has to go. Thankfully, with your help and all the allied groups, with the House Democrats, we've been able to file about 220 lawsuits. So many of these, we're fighting back. We're fighting back through the courts. And the courts have almost sided with us on many of them. Of course, they appeal again. So most of these will ultimately be decided by the Supreme Court. But you know what a dictator does? Now they're trying to pass legislation to be able to impeach judges. So he's already trying to control the Congress. Now he wants to control the courts. And frankly, he wants to control the whole damn thing, the whole enchilada. But we're mindful today. Today is Flag Day. Flag Day. Y'all, raise your flags up. We've got anybody who needs a flag, we have some more here. This is our country. This is our flag. And this is our democracy that we are defending. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings.
And you were listening to State Representative Sylvia Garcia, one of many to take the podium there at City Hall this morning in Houston. That demonstration started around 10 o'clock this morning, one of the largest local demonstrations taking place here in the Houston area. Of course, No Kings demonstrations, however, are taking place all across the country. And we have learned events in Anoka and in Northeast Minneapolis have been canceled today. This was following the targeted shootings at the homes of two Minnesota lawmakers. Governor Tim Walz says that Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed, and State Senator John Huffman and his wife were wounded. It's unclear if the No Kings event in St. Paul will continue today. Now, earlier this morning, Congressman Al Green spoke about these tragic shootings, and here's what he had to say.
Friends, allow me to have your attention for a moment. This is exceedingly important. I'm asking everybody to crowd around. Hold somebody's hand if you will. Take someone's hand. We have had an event to occur today in the state of Minnesota. Two lawmakers were murdered. They were murdered. And the person that did it was imposing what they thought was credentials as a police officer, dressed or disguised in some way as a peace officer. And this is something that in this country we cannot tolerate. So in the spirit of love of country and for the people who have lost their lives, let us hold hands for a moment of silent meditation. Thank you. And as we move forward, let's remember this. In this country, we resolve our differences with peace. With peace. With peaceful protest. With peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Remember this. If we try any other means, we will be denounced as violent persons who have no place in civilized society. So as you move forward today, let's make sure that when the press reports what happened here today, they will say they came in peace, they behaved in a peaceful manner, and they left in peace. And no one was arrested. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
That was Congressman Al Green at the podium there, one of many state and local leaders, lawmakers speaking out there today as part of the No Kings protest. We've been getting a live look from our reporters who've been out there for several hours. Our TJ Parker speaking with demonstrators out there, as well as our Robert Arnold. He was there talking with them as they made their way around the downtown area, starting at City Hall in a march this morning following that protest. So we're going to go ahead and check in with Robert this morning, who's been speaking with those who've been taking part. Robert.
Yes, hi. I'm here now with Frederick Ingram. He is with the American Federation of Teachers. He is Secretary-Treasurer, but he's also one of the main organizers of this particular No Kings event. So thank you for taking the time to talk with us. What went into organizing this event? Because it was open to so many, well, any and all organizations, groups, and just individuals.
Well, listen, people just care about democracy, and so it was easy organizing groups. It was easy getting out to individuals who really care about what's going on today. People are just upset about what's going on coming out of Washington, D.C. And so we care about our public schools, we care about health care, we care about our children, and we want to make sure that our public policy reflects the people.
As we've been talking about, there was a lot of apprehension leading up to events, not just this one, but all the others, because what we're seeing in L.A. today, from everything that we saw, was very positive. Yeah. What was your experience here?
Yeah, it's a peaceful protest, right? Martin Luther King talked to us about the beloved community, and so I could only imagine that he would be liking what's going on today. People of all races, people of all cultures, people of different zip codes coming together, speaking truth to power, making sure that their voices are heard in the democracy, but also nonviolence.
What's next for No Kings?
Well, listen, everything. We want people to stay engaged. We want to continue to get the message out that this is democracy and that people matter, your voices matter, and that we can change things. We can change politicians if we need to do that. Elections matter, but you've got to get the right information. So we believe in speaking truth to power, and we also believe that there is power together.
So more protests like this one planned in the future?
Absolutely. I think you've seen this throughout the first 5 months of the administration, and I think you'll continue to see this. As long as our president continues to do things that are anti-public, then we will continue to bring the public together. And this is important because Houston specifically has been ground zero for what we disengage in with our public educators. And we got to make sure that we get the voice out that our students and kids still matter.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of your colleagues? Because I think last count there was about 12 in our region.
Yeah.
Have you spoken with them? How are those events going?
Oh, the numbers are off the charts. People are out all over in parks and town halls and marches, and they've all, from my reporting, have been nonviolent. And so that is the most concern that we have. We wanted to make sure and emphasize that if you come out, it is just about your power, the power of your voice. It is not the power of your hands. It is not about the power of your fists. That's not what we do. And so this is still America, the best place in the world, and we're going to make it better.
How many people did you have RSVP for this specific event?
There were thousands of people that RSVP'd, and the number topped that. I don't know what the count is here, but there had to be maybe 10,000 people here today.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And that's the end of this particular event, but people obviously are still going to remain here.
Absolutely. People are going to be here for the better part of the day. We have permitting here for all day, and we just believe that this is only evident of what we're seeing in America. This is only evident of people want a better democracy, and they want better public policy that reflects the values of taking care of a grandparent or a sick kid or sending a kid to college. That's what we're about, and that's why we came out today.
All right, Mr. Ingram, thank you for taking the time, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, so even though technically the protest ends at noon, many people are still here, and some people are leaving, others are opting to stay behind. There's music playing right now, and that's it. We have, as we saw, it was a very peaceful, positive event from every vantage point that we had, and we were on all different sides of this particular protest as well as walking through the march. So for now, we are live in downtown at City Hall. Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Robert, thank you. Robert and TJ Parker bringing us that special coverage today as part of our KPRC 2 Plus coverage here, giving us a look from the demonstration to the march that we saw around Houston City Hall, talking with Houstonians who were a part of this No Kings demonstration. We heard from local leaders, city leaders, congressmen and women who were out there today. Of course, we know these demonstrations and protests are taking place nationwide. There were about 10 of them taking place in and around the Houston area today, including in Conroe, Sugarland, Katy. But of course, one of the largest anticipated was the one that took place here at 10 a.m. It started at 10 a.m. at Houston City Hall. You heard as Robert was speaking with one of the organizers there, about 4,000 people RSVP'd. They anticipate that there were likely more in attendance today. This is a look at some of those who marched today, showing up at 10 o'clock this morning, marching from Houston City Hall in and around Austin Street this morning. Again, this is a live look. Those who are still marching out there taking place and taking part in this No Kings demonstration. Our TJ Parker has been there for hours since 6 o'clock this morning, speaking with some of those organizers and those who are from Houston, and said that they wanted to show up here this morning. We have seen people from different groups, different points of view, various different ages, from young children to older people who are taking place today, all sharing their experience of why they felt it was important to be there. Again, this is special coverage on the KPRC 2 Plus live stream. We have heard from some of those state representatives today. There's been several interviews with people in the crowd. Of course, we have all of this coverage on clicktohouston.com, all of those in-depth interviews and articles that you can find there. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, you can find more on clicktohouston.com.